Okay.
My in frame.
Yeah, I think everybody's in frame. Ben and Amanda especially are in frame. You guys are like perfectly framed this time.
Nice. We've
So
never
good.
done that before.
It's not in the. Hey, it's or step.
This is for when I talk for Steven.
Are you planning on talking for Vesper?
Yeah.
We should have brought a hand.
I know, we should have. We have plenty at my house.
No, I didn't
I
Vesper.
can't quite reach.
You haven't done it.
Yeah. It's good stuff. I'm sure we'll get.
Guys,
I think I have a blue wig in the car.
I'm just gonna set this building on fire.
Yeah.
I would like to leave all my worldly possessions to Macarius.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can just like,
That's
for
why I
the
always
inspiration, do this.
Oh, he goes to Macaria.
There he is.
There he is.
There he is. There's Vesper.
Oh.
There's Vesper.
Player agency.
Just should have just brought one
I
of the
shouldn't
wigs
do that.
and
It's
stuck
probably
it on
gonna
the
mess up the
stick.
focus.
Yeah.
Maybe. I could probably build like some little stands or something to set it down right in front of the camera. All right. Well, we started streaming a little early tonight just to
Clear out the commercials.
try to get things rolling early. It is now 8 p.m. according to my Mickey Mouse watch, so we're going to go ahead and welcome everybody to Arragas City of Dreams. I am Sean Dixon, the Bearded Foe, and as always, my intrepid band of heroes are here with me. This evening, Steven is indisposed, so he has foolishly given me permission to NPC Vesper. I hope that I do him no disservice. I don't not want to avoid disservicing him.
That's a lot of double negatives.
It sure is. All right. Well, we'll just see what what happens. Hey, Beard and Brush, it's going well. It's going well. How are things with you? Pretty good, I hope. Watching us all the way in what's basically Kansas. I mean, I don't remember how far north you live, but I just remember like this is too far north. Anyway, okay. So quick recap: the heroes have returned to Arragas and gotten a bit of a butt chewing from Kurga and Vance, although Vance was much more diplomatic about it. Kurga threatened cutting and bleeding and punching, and then he stormed off in a huff. He was very upset about some monies that were claimed by a guild that is known as the Guild Hall. They are sort of a guild that provides goods and services to other guilds, and they are extremely expensive. They're sort of like a country club for guilds. And Sable Guard, although it being a fledgling guild, is now right on the cusp of becoming one of their members. They just have a little bit of dues in arrears that they have to handle, and then card carrying members with all the rank and privilege of the guild hall.
Aren't we pretty close though? Like,
You are pretty close. Yeah, you are pretty close. You're really only, let's see here, doing some very quick math. You are really only about 1,400 away. And that is going to, you guys have 15 days to bring that account into good standing. And
Tight window.
And well, Vance seems very excited. If you remember, he is fully believes in you guys, and he believes in the power of the guild, and he's 99% sure that it's going to be no problem whatsoever. No problem. Kurga not so much. Kurga's a little miffed about it. And the other members, the other charter members of your guild, Babo Three Fingers, Lizrin Fisk, and Pasha, who has a long epitaph that he only uses every once in a while when he's trying to seem sort of better than everyone around him. You haven't seen much of them, but they are apparently all doing their parts to help with this, with the possible exception of Babbo, because he apparently spends his money as soon as he gets it. he enjoys living hand to mouth and hand to pocket and hand to weapon and hand to everything else. So. Okay, so the adventurers have returned to Arragas in possession of a certain book,
A tome.
that they found on the body of Saris. It could in fact be a grimoire. You are not sure yet. The Saris was the apparent ringleader of a chaos plot that was being sort of cultivated in Watanga mining complex. Our heroes bravely uncovered it and drove chaos back to where it belongs, which is in the deeps, back into the deeps. And in doing so, they killed Saris and found a book on her body entitled The Labyrinth's Promise. And they have not told anyone about this book. And I believe they are planning on getting together somewhat clandestinely, but also somewhere near a city park or maybe a church or something, somewhere pure, so that in case something bad happens, then some good people can help them.
And if the book detonates, the whole place gets hit.
Yeah, and if the book explodes and a demon comes out, then they can maximize the death toll of innocents.
Yep.
Within the city by reading it in the in the proximity of persons who have absolutely no idea what's happening and are probably just going about their daily business.
But when we save them, it's good promo for the guild, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's when you summon a demon so that you can then save everyone from the demon. It has a different sort of PR spin to it.
I get it. It's a little morally gray.
Yeah,
but
it's right. It's on the edge.
You just gotta make sure they don't know that you summoned it. That's really
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
I play World of Darkness. They just don't know you summoned
Yeah,
it.
they just don't know.
In my defense, Batman pretty much creates all of his supervillains. So
Yeah, but not intentionally.
right, we
Oh,
are
I see.
counting on the demon being summoned.
Oh, I
It's
see.
a happenstance.
Oh yeah, it's just if it happens.
If it
then
happens, right.
la-di-da. Yeah. Okay. Then que sera, sera, right?
Right.
Okay. I hope everyone at home understands now why I love this group so much. Okay. Okay. So my question is where do you want to go in order to peruse this book? I will say that Vesper is in quiet contemplation, and he seems to just be going with the flow of whatever else the party decides. Like this.
As Lotnus 48 mentioned, he has cast invisibility.
Yeah,
Yep.
perhaps.
Even invisible for the evening.
Yeah, perhaps. But I'm sure if he did, somebody would fairy fire. I'm not going to say any names, but it rhymes with Liliana.
If I'm ever not here, I'm just gonna have my visor down the whole time.
Yeah. No, go on. I'm listening. Okay, so where do you guys want to go? I seem to remember from last time there was some discussion about maybe doing it near the Temple of Ara or one of the abbeys of Ara.
I was gonna ask her.
Which I would know, but is there an area around one of the churches? It's kind of behind
Oh,
the
sure.
building or
Yeah.
a
No, yeah, there's
field or...
A lot of the abbeys have little contemplation gardens and just little nooks and crannies. There's also, you guys are from, well, I'm not from. Remember, Sable Guard is in a low security, sort of a rundown area of Arragas. You guys walk past abandoned buildings all the time. None of them are churches, but if you wanted to go to, for example, your abbey, there's a garden. There's a garden there that's for quiet contemplation. You guys could probably. Now, there's no guarantee that somebody won't come walking through,
Right. That was
and
my
that
question.
person would be
Yeah.
What you
a
guys
priest of
reading?
Ara.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Somebody's
Um,
like taint.
What about that warehouse?
Why does it smell like
Remember
burnt
the-
peanut butter back here?
Remember that
It's
warehouse where,
With Dorga?
Dorga
Yeah.
That would be
made the
quiet.
rats
Yeah.
a giant dog? That's like not too far from the church, right?
But a stone's throw away is happens.
Let me remember real quick.
Well, the Abbey is about 15 minutes away from Sable Guard.
Yeah.
Guild Hall. The abandoned warehouse where you guys found the rats, and it was actually a store of some kind, remember, because it had two doors.
Right,
There was a
right.
back area and a front area. That was only about 5 minutes away from Sable Guard. You guys just took the long way around because you were trying to find Dorga wanted to make sure nobody was following you, if you remember right. She's like, oh, this is a secret. You guys can't tell anybody that I've been experimenting. And, you know,
Well, if it's only
I
10
found a
minutes.
way.
I don't know. We could go there.
I
It's
mean,
10 minutes away.
We're still in town. It's good. Let's do it there.
Yeah.
Neat. Abandoned shop front it is.
Yep.
okay. So you guys head off, and it doesn't take you very long to find it because you pretty much remember the way that you the path that you took whilst dragging an unconscious Fluffy. Remember Dorga's canine unit. So you guys, once you started seeing some of the landmarks, you're like, oh yeah, I think it's on this next street. Oh yeah, okay, now we just need to make a left, right? And you guys eventually get there. It is, we'll say that it's mid-morning, and it's going to be the next day, right? So we are now in the 5th week of the Buttermoon. So this is the 5th Luna Day, morning of the 5th Luna Day. Okay, is everybody cool with that?
No.
How
I hate Luna Days.
how auspicious of a day is this?
There isn't
Are we gonna get
anything.
creamed?
There isn't
Open this
anything in particular about this day.
Okay, so it's not like All Hallows Eve or anything.
No. It's not a holiday.
It's good.
It's not. You know,
I thought
it's
we waited
it's the
for the
beginning of a week.
Personally.
You know, it's effectively
Okay.
people's
That'd be a much
Mondays
better
if they
idea if we
cared
read
about
this
stuff
on
like
that
that.
day. Yes.
Okay, guys. Got it.
Yeah, I've noticed you've been reading that book quite thoroughly.
I haven't
She hasn't
read
started
it.
reading it
Oh,
yet.
shit.
Yeah,
She
she-
wants
reading
to
it
read
all the
it.
way
She's
back.
been paging through. She's been paging through, looking at the pictures,
Just
which
been
are
smelling that
which
book
are both
all the way back.
strangely beautiful and somehow horrific. Pictures of all kinds of weird
I kept like opening
people
it up to see like
scorpions and stuff
if I
like that.
could get some information, and then I'd get scared and wanted to wait till we got back here in case something went really wrong.
Stuck it in the fridge
I mean,
when I
I
got too
don't
scared.
call it the fridge, but it's a bag that I wear.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys make it to the storefront. You go in.
First, I
Well-
checked to see if Dorga's had any more experiments. Like, I would like to peruse the place a little bit. Make sure my buddy hasn't like.
Yeah, you go in there, and the place is pretty much the way you left it. You know, it's sort of smashed up, a bunch of cages busted out from where the rats had either escaped or been torn free of their cages by Fluffy. In her fervor to eat huge rats, it's sort of like those turkey legs at the medieval fair that are just like super big, and you're like, that's so gross. But then when you get closer, you're like, oh, I gotta try one at least. I mean, I gotta try one. Like, I'm here already. I might as well try one. There's a couple of rat heads lying around, but they're not big anymore. They're tiny rat heads.
I'm gonna pitch those outside.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't need any of that kind of bad juju on our plate.
Yeah. We definitely don't want any chattering rat heads starting to
Right.
on the floor.
Chaos
Yeah.
rat heads. No.
Chaos rat heads.
I'm
That
gonna
would be
step
a
on them
really
all
good
too, just in case.
Band name. Chaos
Ooh,
Rat
Chaos
Heads.
Rat Heads.
Twitch, I'm giving you that one for free. Anybody out there who wants to start a band called Chaos Rat Heads, go for it. You get my full endorsement.
I guess I'm gonna light some candles and torches and stuff.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make sure there's no drafts either, so that they don't, like, if they blow in the wind at a creepy moment, I'll know it's like actual creepy wind blowing and not like a draft from outside.
I heard giraffe and I knew that's not what you said, but I still
Draft.
pictured a
Right.
giraph the whole time you were saying that.
Just like
Okay.
blowing in the wind.
Really enjoyable for me.
Sticks its neck in the window. Hello. That'd be even worse than the candles blowing creepily.
Yeah.
I want to make sure it's creepy blowing and not like just a draft.
Just a regular,
Right.
just Aura's breeze coming through to see
Uh-huh.
what you guys are being so quiet for.
Right.
Because that's when parents always check on their children, is when they're being really quiet. Okay.
Now we know that.
All right. So it's daytime outside, so you won't need to light too many torches or candles inside the building to get a decent light going. I mean, there's already
Okay.
some sunlight kind of coming through the cracks in the wall and things like that.
It says that I have incense, but I like to imagine it's the little rolled up sage, and I'm like cleansing the area.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
No.
set up a circle of
Yeah.
incense as well with my
Okay.
little sensor in the middle,
Okay.
Alright.
so that she can read
That's
it
not-
inside the incense.
Ritually at all.
Yeah. So you guys have taken this regular abandoned warehouse and you've turned it into what is effectively a witch's coven
We are
with
cleansing
candles
it
and
of
Cleansing,
magic.
yeah, we're just
You know,
cleansing.
that's
Just
all-
prepping the ritual summoning area.
That's all.
Cleansing
Yeah.
with that juju.
I know, yeah.
That's how all these chaos,
Wow.
these paths to chaos
Way to make
start.
my religion like an evil thing. Thanks, Sean.
We're trying to avoid
I'm gonna
Well,
hold
you-
on to my moonstone.
I will not say you're welcome, but I will say that I know more about your religion than you do because I wrote it. So. And it may or may not be what you expect. Okay. All right. So how's this?
Okay,
Gonna
Julie,
happen?
before you start reading it, I would like to hit you, and I know that this doesn't work this way, but my character would want to do this. Before you start reading it, I'm going to hit you with Shield of Faith,
Okay.
so that you're sparkly and protected by Aura's blue glow. I know that mechanically doesn't work that way, but my character...
You don't
Thank
know.
you.
That book could explode.
We don't know what's gonna happen, but
Could-
I'll be the
Could
brave
be a
one.
claymore or something in the middle of it.
I assumed it was you who was going to read it.
Magical bomb.
I'm going to... And then I'm going to sit in the corner and concentrate on praying.
If I turn evil, try to do something other than chop my head off.
Oh
Okay, got it.
no!
Okay.
I'll just smite you.
You can take me to Worthless if I
I'll poke you
get
real hard and give you a
crazy.
smite.
Okay.
Subdual.
I'm holding on to my moonstone,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
I'm
So,
sitting...
so you're gonna read it out loud to everyone.
If it looks like a spell that I'm reading out loud, I might not. But if it's like
Good call.
I guess if it's
text,
like what's on the
It's just
page.
like prose.
if
If it
it's,
looks like poetry, you're keeping it to yourself, but it looks like prose. Go ahead.
I'm
and
gonna
read it out.
summarize.
Why is this section indented?
Yeah.
I will summarize. I'm not going to actually speak any of the magic words.
Okay.
I should know what a spell looks like, right? I had to learn my spells and rituals.
Yeah, but I don't think you're.
I know
You
it's
don't-
not based on books, but we still
I was gonna
have
say I don't
stuff
think you
written
read
down.
your spells. Do you? You just sort of know how to like face the wind and snort twice and
I still have to say
crush a
things.
berry in your hand and then boom.
I still
you're a
have
painter.
verbal stuff I have to say, so
Yeah.
I had to read it somewhere and learn it somewhere.
Appeal to the nature's forces.
I know the cadence. I'm friends with a pretty booky elf that likes to
Mhm.
write things down, so I know what a written down spell looks
Can you
like.
sing with all the voices of the mountain? You
I
paint all the colors of the
paint
rainbow.
all the colors.
Yes.
Okay.
Your character got like way cooler just now.
I'm not sure. So
In like my mind's eye.
I-
if there are any
literally
Disney
seen
lawyers
everywhere.
watching the show right now, I had no idea they were going to try to illegally reference your copywriting material. I apologize.
I didn't sing it, so I think we're in the clear.
I really wanted to.
Yeah.
They changed the punctuation around. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So you open up the Labyrinth's Promise and you begin to sort of read aloud.
Yeah.
And the book starts out pretty much the same as most of the holy texts that you guys have been exposed to.
Is it in common?
Yeah, it's written in common. Yeah, it looks like it was actually handwritten and somewhat hastily, as a matter of fact. But it's written in common. and it pretty much starts out the same. So in the beginning, the universe was pure chaos, right? There weren't any rules, there weren't any laws, and it was great because every thinking entity was basically free to do whatever they wanted. And they didn't have to answer to anybody, and they could create what they wanted, and if they didn't like it, they could destroy what they wanted, and pretty much it was the essence of freedom, right? And there weren't any rules, there weren't any laws, there weren't things binding everything and restricting everything and holding people back and taking away their power. And and it was great, and everybody loved it. And then
I sense some inherent bias.
in the
Did
book,
pick up on that?
in the book,
Yeah.
no.
Well, and some inherent stupidity, because there was law and order to the universe even back when there was chaos.
Right.
They
Maybe
just didn't see
chaos
it that
like
way.
wasn't great. That's my thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't a rule.
Natural order is
Right.
Chaos not being great could be not great if it wanted to, and then start being great again whenever it wanted to. It wasn't a rule.
Well, anywho.
Okay, so then what happened is a band of demons, and this is the first time that the book mentions demons, gathered together and decided that they didn't like everyone being free, and so they decided that they were going to enslave everyone.
I just got here. Darn it. Anita.
And they carved out a section of the universe, and they basically built a prison in this section of the universe. It's this colossal prison, and it's designed to keep everybody weak and powerless, right? It's designed to tear you away from your essential nature, okay? Which was fine in the beginning. Everybody was like, okay, you're free to do that. You're free to build that, and, we'll just stay away from there. You can have your little section. The universe is huge. You can have that section and build your prison and have fun with that. And then the demons started going around capturing everybody and putting them in prison. Everybody. They went far and wide. They gathered all entities, big and small, and they figured out a way to stuff them inside this prison. And the prison is the world as we know it today. Okay? And you get, you're born into a sleeve of flesh, and you basically experience constant pain, and you're told that every form of pleasure is some sort of a sin, and all of your power has been stripped away, so you can't do anything. You can't really do anything to change your own fate. You can't do anything to change your circumstances, and even if you try, it's always a whole bunch of really crappy labor. You have to work really hard to fashion a sword, but your true destiny is to be able to have the power to just will a sword into existence when you need it and will it away again when you don't. Right? This is your birthright.
Then why do they want in so bad, these chaos demons? What's so great about this prison reality that they keep trying to encroach? These people are biased. Anyhow, I keep reading.
Yeah. So basically, the book goes on to talk about how everyone has been stripped away, and that that all the wardens, all of the demons who are in charge of this realm, are super powerful, and they keep themselves super powerful, and they make everybody else worship them instead of letting everybody understand the fundamental nature of the universe, which is that basically we are all gods, and the universe is big enough for each of us to go do what we want, and we don't have to enslave anyone, and we don't have to answer to anyone. We're free to just carve out a space in the universe and make it whatever we want. whatever our hearts desire, whatever our imaginations can come up with. It's literally, the universe is there for us to use to make our own paradises.
So when do we get the opportunity to convert? Because that sounds pretty baller.
Do you say that out loud? No. I mean,
You're about to start a bloodbath.
That came out that way, but what I probably meant was, I can see why this text is so insidious.
Okay, so at this point, I would like anyone who would want to make a religion check.
yeah.
And actually, will you have me
I
pass my
can.
character sheet there so that...
Being a paladin, I am actually kind of new
That makes sense.
as a paladin, so my religion knowledge
Man.
is quite unrefined.
Which
Which is why I got a 1.
Yeah, so basically you're like,
Give me for the win.
where do we sign up? Where do we sign up for this? Man, I shouldn't have killed Sarah so fast. I could have asked her a few questions.
I've been duped.
I got a 3, so.
I feel like Catherine's just so mad right now that the rage is making her not think straight. So even though I'm a priest,
Oh shit.
I only got an 11. I feel like my rage is interfering.
Me have trouble contemplating low thoughts.
What about you, Makaria?
I got a 3, but I wasn't listening anyways.
Okay. Well, so Catherine, you're the only one who picks up on this. So you're noticing that there are parallels in the narrative
It is blasphemy.
of the labyrinth's promise that matches things that you've heard from different religious studies. Like, for example, the dwarves do believe inherently that everything in the world is there for them to use and craft as they see fit.
Blasphemy.
And that Moradin gave them the right to use wood and stone and gems and soil and water and everything else however they want to build whatever they want.
Right. So my character's flaw is I am inflexible in my view of the faith. So
Yeah.
this is all just
So you're
blasphemy.
getting,
I
like,
don't give a
super
shit.
mad.
Like
Yeah.
I'm so mad
Well, so
right now.
you
I
understand
am mad.
why tomes like this are blasphemous.
Or
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm more of a visual learner.
You also notice that there are certain other similarities. One being that in some texts, Solion and Galuna are actually known as the Wardens of the Sky. So that's the only other place you've ever heard them referred to as wardens outside of this text. Assuming that the demons they're talking about are Ara and Ix and Solion and Galuna. Okay. Lastly, you know very well that Ara is quoted in many places in the religious text as saying that if something displeases you and acts out against its nature, the path of vengeance says that you just destroy it and make something new in its place. Okay. And lastly, you have in fact heard that from the elves, or at least that elves believe that all life in the universe is tied together into a huge pool.
They're blasphemous as well.
Sure. I'm just pointing out the similarities. I'm pointing out the
That means
parallels
nothing
that
to
you're
my
noticing.
character. Nothing. With her flaw, no.
And you've actually heard elves say things like, life is inherently chaotic because life will take any form. And if that form doesn't work, then it dies and tries again. But life takes infinite forms. And so that's basically the definition of chaos right there. Okay? All right.
So apparently their knowledge is like seeped into our culture in an extremely dark way. It's all like woven into all of our backstories and stuff.
Well, it's
Throughout-
kind of like
throughout time.
all of this stuff is like all of the religions, but bastardized and flipped around.
Right.
They're just looking at it from a really, Liliana totally understands how they got to this conclusion, but they're misinformed. They think that the chaos realm is free and fun, and sure, maybe if you're the one with all the power, but anybody else is gonna not have a good time. There's a good reason why life exists. There's a natural order to things here that keeps everything flowing. That's kind of what Liliana thinks about all this.
Sounds philosophical.
It is. It's a druidy.
I'm apparently more than in the moment kind of guy.
I think we should burn the book. I totally understand why my
Yes,
people burned the
this is
book.
chapter 1.
No, chapter 1, I am done.
Before you.
I think we should burn the book.
1 and done.
We need to understand what she did. She said she did something to the city, but it was too late to stop. We need to see what she did.
Okay.
Okay.
Continue reading.
So as you get deeper into the Labyrinth's promise, basically it talks about how if you are taught the right ways to think, that you can release the true inner divine potential in yourself, and you will gain power. Like they mention that basically everyone is a god. Every living entity that can think for itself is a god. Except that we're all imprisoned in a prison by demons who are preventing us from reaching our own divinity. Okay?
But they reached their divinity. The gods did. According to elves, very blasphemous to you guys, but
Right? They did.
elves believe that anybody has the ability to ascend to godhood after dying many times and performing
Another parallel.
good works.
Another
So
parallel.
that's why I'm reading it like they don't see the benefit in having the order to make sure that the people who gain power are good or useful or whatever, like Ara. See?
That like was real.
I respect other people's views too, but these people have got this backwards.
As the book continues, it promises to teach you, the reader, how to think in these ways and unlock the mysteries of your own divinity. And that once you reach the center of all of the lies and all of the restrictions and all of the barriers that have been placed in your path, like a huge labyrinth that most people never find the center of, once you get to the center, you won't have to leave the labyrinth because you will be able to just simply wish it out of existence and create your own labyrinth, or create a world where everyone is, has orange hair or whatever you want. But the path is long and it's difficult, and it's going to challenge a lot of the things that you have come to believe are irrefutable truths about the way the world and the universe works. And those are the biggest obstacles that you'll have to unlock in order to ascend.
Liliana's rolling her
To
eyes
Godhood.
and skimming some of that stuff, possibly not reading it aloud. Like, oh my god, this book's so arrogant.
Okay. Roll a die 4 for me.
You lose 4 points of your soul.
Uno.
Okay. So you keep reading, and he goes. There's a lot of. They talk about a lot of things about how, the natural order is one of the last things that you'll be able to rebuke, and you'll know that you're on the right path when you are able to change your own body, when you're able to stop existing as what you were and start existing as what you are meant to be. And then Liliana stops talking. and she's just sort of staring at the page, and she's not moving, and she's not really breathing, and she just kind of like literally as if time froze around her.
I will pull the book out of her hands.
Okay, so you go over and to her, and she is, literally like she's like in mid, like getting ready to turn the page, and she just stopped talking and she's staring. And you grab the book and you pull it out of her hands.
And close it.
Okay, so you pull it out of her hands and close it. All right. As the book is pulled from your hands, you break free from the chapter that you were reading, that you thought you were reading out loud. And suddenly everyone's staring at you, and Arister is holding the book, but you understand how to do some stuff that you could never do before. So that spell is one that you just inherently know now. You have to spend slots as normal to cast it, but it does not count against any of your spells known totals. All right, so Liliana snaps out of it, and
Come on. I'm back to it.
she says,
I don't. Does somebody else want to turn? That was weird.
Sure. So I take the book.
well, Arister has the book. Are you taking
I have
it?
it.
Hey, Arthur, can I see that book real quick?
No.
Real quick. I just need it for like 5 seconds.
I would also like to look at this book, please.
Who all is going to try to read this?
Oh, I'm not going to read the book.
Vesper raises his hand.
This is very hard for me to decide what to do here.
Well, we shouldn't all like. None of us should read the whole thing because it is trying to like change our minds. But
I don't think anybody
we
should
need
read
to
it.
get enough information out of it to know what she did.
Right.
And I haven't found anything in the first chapter.
What happened to you when you spaced out? Let's
I don't
figure that
know.
out first.
I was reading this thing and it was kind of convoluted.
Let me cast Detect Evil and Good
Okay.
and see if that helps.
Yeah, I'm not evil, am I?
Okay, well, you cast Detect Evil and Good, and Liliana does not radiate in any way that sets off the spell. In the way
Can
that
we
she-
see your moonstone?
Okay,
How
yeah.
does your moonstone?
She checks her moonstone. Her moonstones are fine. You guys, if you guys are still wearing your moonstones are fine. The book is not, it's a book. It's not like screaming or super cold to the touch or anything like that. It's just a regular old book.
I think I understand how their magic works now, though.
Okay.
Yeah, like I know.
Watch this.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I don't know. I think I understand how the magic works. Now.
That, though, is how chaos gets to you.
I know. I don't
That
know
is
that I want to
incredibly
use
dangerous.
it, but I mean, they've got a lot of stuff really backwards. So I'm not agreeing with that or anything. So
Not
it
yet.
didn't change my mind, but I wouldn't want to read the whole thing. So
I think it is incredibly dangerous to read from this book. I think it is, and I don't think it's worth infecting yourself with chaos.
She hasn't been affected with anything.
I
He
haven't.
just, he just checked.
I'm okay.
Something has happened. She went out. She zoned out. You can't tell me something didn't just happen.
Well, it was like I learned how their spell works.
Right. So you just mysteriously suddenly zoned out. Now you feel like you know how their spells work.
Yeah.
Explain to me how that's not being infected.
Because my mind hasn't changed.
Not yet. You're not aware. How do you know? Your mind has obviously changed. You now suddenly know things you didn't know before. Your mind has changed.
But I mean, I read it. Did I read the spell, or did it?
You were reading basically a passage that talked about how to create tiny insect life and issue it a single command. And you just sort of trailed off, but you thought you were reading it out loud to them, and then remember when you said that you understood that you would be reading a spell and you would not read any spells out loud?
Right.
You stopped reading it out loud
Okay.
because you thought it was a spell.
Yeah. No. So I found a spell in that book, and I didn't want to say it out loud because I don't want to cast it.
You were gone. You were out.
Well, I don't know.
Well, that's fair
I
because
don't
you were
remember
out.
that.
To read
I
this
mean, I
is
was
dangerous.
reading.
To read this is dangerous.
I mean, it's up to you guys. I don't know.
She seems fine. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine.
And I'm gonna really regret
Can
having to
you-
kill all of you later.
Kethra, make a religion check for me, please.
Alright.
Whoa.
I mean, do we want to like sleep on it a day? Maybe
Oh,
try
Kevin's
to-
just real mad. I gotta. Even with my bonus.
God is mad. I can tell.
You're like, I got a 5.
Okay, so you
I
so
got a
a
5.
5? Oh, okay. Okay, Kethra, so remember that class that you took where they told you about like some of the names of the most blasphemous books? You don't remember any of those names, and you wish you paid more attention to the class.
I was not paying. I was bored. I hate history.
But you're fairly certain that the Promise of the Labyrinth was not one of. This is the first time you've ever heard of this book, so you're fairly certain that this is not like. Your church has not made an official announcement that, oh, the Labyrinth's Promise is a banned blasphemous book, and anyone who reads it is heretic and will burn you at the stake.
Yeah, but I just heard what it said, and it is blasphemous. And at the same time, this is all a bad idea. Like, there's no not convincing my
I'm
character
nudging
of
you in
that.
the ribs.
There's no
Okay.
not
Looking at
convincing
the-
her.
I read the book.
Okay, so Arister, do you pick up where she left off, or do you start over from the beginning?
I pick up where she left off.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I think
you.
this is the passage that explained that spell.
If anybody's gonna get corrupted, it's gonna be me.
Okay. We'll
How
make
brave
sure
of
to
you.
kill you if we need.
How courageous.
I do have a duty to lay my life down for others.
Well, I mean, if we're going to be fighting people that are using this against us, I need to know what they're using so we know how to come up on it.
I'll read it out loud.
Super helpful.
I mean, if you get to like a spell, I wouldn't, because I don't really want it.
I will skip over anything that seems spell.
Because I didn't read that because little
I'm not-
bugs would probably come swarming out.
I'm not the
after
best at picking up on things like magic. 'Cause I've never really used arcane magic.
Oh.
And it
Well,
is
if it sounds like magic, do you want me to cover your mouth?
sure.
Okay.
Please do. Or just give me a sign, maybe. Like
Yeah, but
Do
I
you have a
Two
spell
weeks.
that could make something
Oh, wait. What is it? 2
Yeah,
barks?
2 barks, a short growl.
right.
Actually, where's Vesper's character sheet? Can you see it real quick?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I'm
Private
seeing
business.
if I can ask him to.
To what?
What ho,
Where's the
Barb?
spell
What say
sheet?
you?
I'm still contemplating.
He doesn't have it yet. Okay.
You know, you actually remind me of,
Well, I was
a,
hoping
of
he
a
could
famous
maybe
singer we
counterspell
saw
it
back in a
if
mining
he has
complex.
it, but I don't think he has that yet.
Mayhap you two know each other?
Are you talking about Pippi?
Yeah,
I'm her manager.
really.
I've said that multiple times.
Well,
Mhm.
you should bring her by sometime. We should talk all in the same room.
No offense, but she's not interested in you.
Wow.
She's probably super busy. She's really
Yeah, this is not this is not.
Wait, are we discussing Pippi right now?
Yeah, there's a book going on.
Yeah. Well, he's got the book.
I stopped mid-paragraph.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Pippi. Okay, so you start reading and
Vesper and I will just stand on either side of you.
I still have Detect Evil and Good rolling, so let me know
Yeah.
if any of that fires off.
okay, yep. So you start reading, and you're reading a passage about how basically the universe is just a huge infinite space that no matter how far you fire an arrow, you can never hit the edge of the universe, and that the universe is full of all this life and all this diversity, and it's just beautiful to behold, and some of it is a little terrifying, but that's just because that's just one of the shackles that the wardens keep on us, is to make us afraid of that which we do not understand.
Infinite universe.
Yeah,
I'm
and
pretty sure the universe ends on the edge of the Earth, on the edge of the planet, just right over the edge.
that is probably true,
Yeah.
because otherwise where does Soliana and Galuna go,
Right?
right?
They go to
Right,
the other
yeah.
side.
They just
Yeah.
they head down to the after party or whatever,
Right.
right? And it starts talking about how there's room for everyone to basically have their own infinite kingdoms, because inside infinity is just more infinity. And then you stop talking.
Okay.
And everybody sees Arister like he's just, I mean, he's holding the book and he's reading, and then he just stops talking.
Do I feel a tingle?
Shit. I keep my cool. I don't lose it.
We take the book out of his hands then.
Yeah. My turn.
All right, so Makaria takes the book out of your hand. Okay, Arister, so you kept reading about the infinite life and stuff, and you were talking, and like how everyone has a castle, and the castle is as big as they want, and it has every manner of pleasure inside the castle walls, and all the pleasure is yours, and you can dole it out to
So
whoever
just
you want.
garbage.
And you can
Just
have
garbage
people come and visit your castle of pleasure whenever you want, and if they start getting too rowdy, then you can turn them away, and then all of a sudden the book is not in your hands anymore, and you understand, oops, how to do that. And so for the purposes of you, since your paladin spell list does not account for that level of spell, you can do that once a day or once for every long rest.
Okay.
Once per long rest. You can now do that. You just understand how to do it. Like,
Jeez.
you're like, sweet, I'm basically a god.
Yeah.
So I can show people my divinity, and
Do I come to?
they'll, oh yeah, you snap out of it.
I fundamentally understand nature in a different way.
No! We have to stop reading this!
Apparently. It's a very odd sensation.
Wait.
Ha!
They're talking about infinite blah blah blah. Like they don't
No,
understand the
no.
point of
My
La,
the-
la,
mouth
la,
tastes
la,
a little
la.
metallic. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it.
No!
Somebody
Like your
slips a copper
tongue
tin in
when
your
you like pick the book.
I think we should probably burn the book.
Yes! Give it to me now! Initiate! I'm gonna go after Makaria. I'm over this. I'm burning the book.
Kethra?
She's got... No! Dude,
You
I'm
chill out
not
for a
kidding. I'm
second.
jumping on you to burn the book. This is not a joke. Like, I've had enough. Both of them have zoned out. Is there anything personal, Taylor? This is Kethra doing this. I would burn the book. This is my flaw. Like,
I will attempt to stop the fight.
I'm
Okay,
going to
yeah,
jump,
Vesper is
grab
also
it,
going
and
to
burn it.
He's going to
attempt to
try to
stop the fight.
persuade you to calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys better knock me
Vesper's
out.
like, oh, we're all
Like-
friends here. Let's
least-
stop. Let's stop and talk about this.
Nope.
All right.
At least until he gets to read it, he's going to try to calm you down.
So
Okay, that's fair, but I'm not stopping. I'm gonna burn the book.
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
going to burn the book
He-
once we each know a piece of it, so we can't have it used.
Nope,
against
I'm
us.
done. Nope.
don't you want to read the book? Catherine?
No.
Catherine, don't you want to read the book?
No.
All right. So, I do not think that Vesper would actually cast a spell against you to try to change your mind. I think he would just try to talk you down, like stop. We're gonna destroy the book. I'm with you. We're gonna destroy the book
He's gonna have to roll
in
persuasion.
the near future.
Like, I need something rolled. Like, because there's
All right.
no
Yeah.
way my character
He-
wouldn't go for it.
All right. So his persuasion is a 19. So if you want to try to make a will save against DC 19,
Yeah,
He's
Okay.
very persuasive.
he is very
Yeah.
persuasive.
he's got a bit of charisma
He's a lot charismatic.
and a lovely voice.
What is will save? What is that one?
It's just wisdom. I'm sorry, it's just a wisdom save. You should get. I believe you have advantage on wisdom saves as a priest.
Back in the bad days,
Yeah.
it was a will save.
Oh, can I reroll that? My fingers got.
Yeah.
I need to stop.
I mean, you get advantage because you get to roll twice anyway and take the better one.
15. I got a 20.
Okay,
Whoa.
so he calms you down, but he does not deter you from wanting to destroy the book.
Like right now.
Like right now. Okay.
You should destroy it right now, guys.
So, Kethra is... Okay, just to be clear, you are physically trying to arrest the book away from Makaria at this time.
Yes. So I can burn it.
Okay. So, everybody roll initiatives.
Alright.
I'm sorry. I would do this.
Oh, come on. It's like right on the edge there. I don't know which one's up.
Jiggle it.
I'll just spell like past Both of them.
You guys are killing me with this.
Well, the biggies have bubbles.
It's
It
because
does,
nobody
it
wants
has
to hurt
bubbles.
anyone. like if this was a goblin trying to arrest the book, he'd be dead already.
Right.
Like-
I got plenty of smiting action going on.
I've got 14.
okay. All right.
17.
17.
11.
Okay.
7.
Yeah, Vesper is on a 7 also. I'm sure you'll go first because I think your dexterity is higher than his. Boop. Let me see. +3. Oh, I guess I get to go.
I'm
Okay.
the last.
All right, so Makaria, Kefir lunges for the book, and you think she says burn the witch, but you're pretty sure she said burn the tome. But what you hear is burn the witch.
I guess I try to, push you down as you're coming at me.
Okay.
So you're just gonna try to get out of the way, like parry her.
Well, I'm going to try to
Get out
drop
of
her
the way.
prone.
Okay. Well, go ahead and make that roll. Is that
It's
one
just
of
like-
your new powers? Is that one of your command abilities?
No, I
Is
didn't
to
get
knock
the one
somebody
that knocks
prone?
someone over, but I
Okay.
didn't know if, some kind of grappling or something would do that.
Yeah, there's actually rules in the DM's guide. I'll let you roll an attack roll. And you're gonna use your strength because you're trying to shove her over, right?
What does that go against?
yes.
My armor class?
Probably.
I guess that's
Yeah, she's gonna try to shove
That's not
you,
much.
and you're headed straight for her. So
That's not a thing.
No go?
That would be a 4.
okay, so you are not able to shove her. Make a dexterity check to avoid losing your grip on the book.
That would be a 19.
Of course.
Tense moment.
Of course.
No less.
All right. So you do not shove Kethra, but you also manage to maintain your grip on the tome itself. Kethra, you were 14, making a quick attack roll to try to get your hands on the book.
What is that again? What do I attack with?
Are you?
Well, if you're just trying to grab the book, it's just
Yeah.
going to be a strength check.
It's just
It's
a
gonna be
strength check.
plus proficiency. Your proficiency in grabbing
It's
with your own hands.
Man, I'm really regretting reading the
Ooh,
book.
I only got a 7.
All right. So you don't. She gets the book away from you. She tries to
Come
shove you. It ends up being kind of a slap fight, and
Yeah.
she gets the book away from you. Okay, so I believe that means Arister is going to be next, right?
Right.
Okay, let's stop here and take our 10-minute bio break.
Okay.
So go ahead and stretch your legs and refill your drinks and warm up some pizza rolls. And
Oh, that sounds good, and I don't have any. Don't say.
yeah, I know. I shouldn't have. I should have said something healthy like carrot sticks or something gross.
That sounds good too.
Carrot sticks
It's
and
not
ranch?
compared to pizza rolls.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but pizza rolls and ranch trumps carrot sticks and ranch.
Ooh, why would you
So-
put ranch on
counter-
pizza?
I don't. I put blue cheese on pizza rolls.
Oh.
So good. Amanda, you can't
Okay.
tip the scales like I can without some pizza roll blue cheese combo
Okay.
going on.
Fair
You
enough.
just can't.
Fair
You
enough.
can't do it. Okay, and in the meantime,
It's time for
Ben and I
Game
will-
Master
we'll
and
sit here.
Arister chat again.
yeah, we'll sit here. So Duchess has been pretty. I don't want to say verbal, but I'll say emoty in the chat. She's clearly in favor of burning the book.
The book does seem evil
It's a whole bunch of
upon
flamey
future
emotes.
reading.
All right, so, yeah, Lotinus, Stephen wasn't able to make it tonight because of a work obligation, which happens to him very infrequently, but sometimes it overlaps on the Wednesdays when we're Twitch casting. So right now Vesper's trying to calm everybody down, but eventually he'll disappear to go speak with his mentor named Phineas Backlund. He's going to go. he had plans to go speak with Phineas. Yeah, Velizery demons were misunderstood. That's the point of the Labyrinth's promise. That basically history was written by the victors, and the victors in this case happen to be tyrannical, controlling effectively celestial prison wardens who have locked everyone.
According to the book.
Yeah, who have locked everyone into the prison of the world, and they make everyone worship them, and they make everybody live according to this very structured and ordered sort of natural cycle, and we're meant for greater things. People are meant for greater things. The elves believe a very similar thing. So I don't think we've talked yet about elven reincarnation. So elves believe that all living things come from a huge pool of just infinite life, and that they're incarnated into this world and in order to try out new things and try out different forms and try out diversity and combinations and basically to grow and learn, similar in many respects to the way modern Buddhism believes. So every sentient being is here to learn to be better, to be more spiritual and more in tune and to be better. And then when they die, if they've learned that lesson in the proper way, the next time they come back, they get rewarded by being reincarnated as something that has a greater lifespan. So each time you come back, you're either going to get reincarnated as something that lives longer or something that lives shorter, depending on your propensity.
Of course, elves pick a religion that favors them the most.
Of course, right? So there's,
like you do.
That people have noted the inherent unfairness of the elven religion, most notably the dwarves, who are outspoken about it, mostly because the 900 Years' War, the 9th century war, was a religious one. The dwarves said, hey, we should be allowed to cut down this entire forest and burn it for fire so that we can make cooler things. And the elves were like, you're killing living things in a wasteful way. Your God is wrong. And they said, well, your God is wrong. And then somebody threw a punch and it escalated into a war. So the thing about elves is their religion, basically, there's a lot of pros and cons to their religion. The cons are that, for obvious reasons, they believe that just inherently elves are spiritually superior to most other sentient beings because elves live for thousands of years. And their next closest rivals, if you want to call it that, are dwarves who live for a few hundred years, and then humans live for about 100 years, and everybody else is lower than that. So, by following that logic, like a horse is spiritually superior to a dog, which is superior to a squirrel, which is superior to a fly, right? Because based on their lifespans. The pros, though, of the elven religion is that most elves believe in making the world a better place because they have to come back. Like you have to come back here. So they're not going to do stuff that makes the world crappier in the future because then they have to come back and live in it again. And so they try to they try to enhance beauty, and they try to enhance like social fairness, and they try to set up systems where everybody can thrive, not just survive, but thrive and flourish. Most elves are very cognizant of what the actions they take today will have on tomorrow. The world of tomorrow.
Deep.
One of the cons is that if you are not contributing to that, if you have been incarnated as an evil being, they have absolutely no qualms about removing you from the world. Like elven murder is a lot more loosely defined than most other sentient beings.
Easily justified.
It's much more easily justified if you're doing something. If you're trying to enslave an entire species of people, you need to go, because in the future, elves might, for whatever reason, be reincarnated as those people, and they don't want to come back into a world where they're the slaves. And for this first, in a similar vein, they would never want to be the masters either. They don't believe they would see that as impeding other creatures' spiritual journey, right? And so with elves, they have no problem killing something that they see as evil or that they see as basically being harmful to people and the world at large. So that can lead to a lot of problems, especially if you get an elf who's slightly evil, or an elf who gets a little bloodlusted, and they're just like, oh no, the first answer is kill him. Oh, that grocery store owner cheats everybody out of 3 silver every time they show up. No, he's making everybody poor at his expense, or so that he can become richer. He needs to go.
Slip straight into the Punisher mentality.
Yep, it's easy for elves to justify killing other things. So that's pretty much where the elven religion aligns with what's being read in this book. Is the Labyrinth's promise is basically saying the exact same thing, that everyone is part of an infinite source of life in the universe, and that everyone is a god, and they should be able to do what they want and seek out their spiritual fulfillment. And elves absolutely believe that, but this book isn't really coming at it from the same perspective as the elven religion does. So, all right. Look at you, Amanda.
Look at that. I made it back in time.
Everybody else is late.
We didn't quit until like 2 minutes after the bell.
That's true. That's true.
So we still got some time.
That's true.
I really don't think Jakar is thinking that way right now.
We got 2 more minutes.
She's in boring mode.
Okay, so
Hello, world.
I would be making comments in chat, but my internet is wrecked on my phone. So,
really,
yup, ran out of data. Just blew right off that cap. It's a bad month.
well, that's too bad. We'll when we move to the other side of Arragas, I'll make sure that the Wi-Fi password is clearly posted somewhere.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so does anybody in chat have any other questions about?
I'm willing to field questions.
Sir, in the top right, do you have a mirror in your pocket, because I can see myself in your pants?
Does that mean am I in the top right? Or is that
No,
that would be Sean.
That would be me. Well, my first question is how can you see my pants? Like, the camera is like from chest up. I don't get it. But
well, you're in luck, ladies. You can crawl around in there all you want, like a little gopher. All you gotta do is pass a few tests.
yeah, and they're not difficult tests.
They're not
but
difficult
they're all
tests.
pass fail.
Definitely pass
They're
fail.
all pass fail. No bell curve, no grading, no percentages. Pass or fail, pass or fail.
I haven't heard from
Okay.
Vesper.
Were you asking him what he would do or something?
He's probably working or what have you. Okay, so it's 9:02, so we're going to get back into the action. I hope everybody's seated and buckled in, because it looks like we're about to have our first ever party infighting.
Yay.
So, all right, so Macaria has the book. Liliana has lunged at the book and missed the book. Macaria tried to shove, not Liliana, I'm sorry, Kethra. Macaria tried to shove Kethra down, but it was ineffectual, mostly because she was concentrating on keeping her hands on the book. Arister is now moving into the fray to do...
really just to block
Grapple?
incoming attacks.
Okay, so you want to bodily insert yourself
Right.
in front of Macaria so that Kethra has to get around you to take another shot at the book.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna. You don't need an attack roll for that. You
Is that
just
like
move up.
I'll just hold my action
Move
to
up.
do a
Yeah.
dodge
Okay.
or something.
Sure. All right. So Vesper is going to continue telling everyone let's. There's no reason for there's no reason for us to turn on each other. This book is clearly getting people riled up, and we just need to calm down and approach it rationally, and the way intelligent people would. And I'm pretty sure everyone here is almost as intelligent as me.
Vesper, are you sure you're feeling okay?
I just don't want.
This new rational decision making is very out of character for you.
I had a lot to think about on the way back.
Okay, fair enough.
To be honest, I'm feeling a bit diminished from the butt chewing by Vance. I thought I had made everything.
I'm sorry, my friend.
It's okay. But my point is that book is probably worth money if we get it into the right hands.
We are
And I
definitely
don't
not
want-
selling it.
And I didn't say we would sell it. I'm just saying that if we were to, say, turn it over to the church, there could be a reward. Also, I don't want the book to get damaged, but more importantly, I don't want any of my best friends to be damaged.
Aww.
I agree.
Thank you. 2 out of 2 elves agree that we don't want anybody damaged. Okay. All right, so that makes it Liliana's turn.
Oh.
So the situation as it stands right now, Arister is standing between Kethra and Macaria, and he's sort of running a screen.
Is he not doing like another persuasion roll for that to see if, or is that just like a story based?
Yeah, that could be
Like,
another
decision
persuasion
thing.
roll
Could
to
you
see
try
if you
to-
could calm people down. Me specifically.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna hold his action to do something else.
Gotcha.
But if the party is demanding a persuasion
I
roll,
can try
who
to
am
Well,
I
I?
can
pretty
try
much
a
every
persuasion
time
roll.
Vesper opens his mouth, it's a persuasion check.
Who am I? All right, 8. Good luck. I wish you luck.
Not persuaded.
Yeah. Watch you roll two like 3s or whatever.
Oh, I rolled. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's you. You're the only one that's freaking out about this. Kethra's having
No.
a theological
minute.
tizzy.
What else do I
Yeah, I'm
get?
having
What do I add to this?
So you're going to be your wisdom, and then if where it says wisdom,
Almost.
is the dot
Almost.
full of
I got a
saving?
10, so that means I still beat it, right? With a 10?
Yeah.
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 And you doubled his proficiency bonus?
He doesn't have double on persuasion. He has double on
Oh,
performance. Otherwise, it would have been much higher than that. Much higher. Okay, so he attempts to persuade. Kethra, be calm. Be calm. All right, that brings us back around to Macaria. Macaria.
I haven't gone.
Lily didn't.
Oh, I mean Liliana. Yeah.
I am going to echo what he said and cast Charm Person along with it.
All
I don't
right.
know if
Seems
that
the
really...
book's corrupting effects have already begun to take hold.
It's just making somebody
Docile and malleable to your command.
recognize you
malleable.
as a friendly person that's not trying to hurt them. Like, you're on my team, sort of thing.
Okay.
You're on my team.
So, make a wisdom save.
Got it.
Okay. Remember, you get
It's like
advantage.
it's
No,
like
not on
when
a
you
save.
slip something into a girl's drink.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
proficiency
She gets
bonus.
I got my
proficiency
bonuses though,
bonus.
Yeah,
right?
proficiency bonus.
If you slip something into a girl's drink, they become
Okay.
like more
I got a
on your
19.
side and
Oh, okay.
seems
All right.
like a little rich.
That's-
what I'm trying to say.
So
Maybe stronger
right.
than just like.
Is that like level 2 charm person?
all right.
Like drugging
So do
someone?
you? How does charm person actually work? Do you just look deep into her eyes and say, "Friend, you are my friend. Let's be friends, friend."
Friend.
Me, friend.
We friends.
Does it work on people who already trust you and
Yeah,
are
that's
friends?
what I was wondering.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
That's
I
the only thing
we're
it has.
already-
Well, it didn't work on Kethra. We know that because the 19 was pretty solid.
Right, okay.
So basically, you look Kethra in the eye, and you say, "Friend, let's be friendly. Let's
Well-
try to be friends." And she just slits her eyes.
We have to burn the
and
book.
You can
I
see
can
your magic
We
just
have
like
to
bouncing
burn
But
away.
I don't. Well, and also, I don't think that we can destroy it. It's a magical artifact.
I
This
bet
is
you I can
not
get
the
it with Sacred
philosophical
Flame.
debate you were looking for.
Maybe, but I don't know if that will set off another. Like, that's why we're like dividing up the chapters, and we shouldn't. Read
And
it
every
out
time you
loud.
divide the chapters, someone else goes into a zone and becomes more infected with chaos.
That's their
I
choice.
can't.
I don't think
I
we're
can't.
infected because it's not. It's
Everyone-
not
Of course
showing
you
up
don't.
on
Everyone
us.
Yeah.
has the ability to
You're-
make their own choice.
You're also
about this.
you're also pretty sure that there's more that you can learn from the book.
Yeah, I don't really want to learn any more
You
from it,
specifically.
but that's why I don't want to read any more chapters from it. That's why I gave it out and stopped reading.
That's a good way to remember it. So I'm pretty sure it got taken from you, but okay.
No, I did. I handed it off and said I didn't want to read anymore.
No, you didn't.
Nope.
You zoned out,
out,
and
they
we took
ripped
it
the
from
book
you.
away from you, and
That's
that's what
Oh,
snapped you out
okay,
of
but
it.
after I snapped out of it, I said somebody else should look at the.
Right,
I
there
did
we
say
go.
that.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I concur.
I believe you.
And I foolishly read the book because I thought I could find more information about personal issues I have.
Oh, well, that's not a good reason. We're trying to figure out what they did.
Wow.
Spoiler alert, nobody cares about you and your feelings there, sir.
Right. Noted.
Don't be tempted for personal reasons. I just want to know what they did to mess up the world and make sure we can fight them and know what they're going to use against us.
I feel like post-book Liliana is a little bit more callous than pre-book Liliana.
I don't know about that.
No, I was always...
Yeah.
Out of character,
Yeah.
no.
You're remembering the
Always
nice
like
kitty
this.
cat
Right.
form she's always in, not the.
Yeah,
the
the one
kitty
that
cat
doesn't
form
talk.
is the one I like.
Okay. All right, Macaria.
Alright. Yeah, well, you're in between us.
I'm just going to run interference, so you do what you want.
Oh, and I'll move to do the same, sort of like, no. We don't want to hurt each other.
I will back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Take your shoes off, lean back in a chair, make some hot cocoa.
Pull out your pipe.
I'm really feeling like Macaria right now,
Yeah.
and I'm really holding back the urge to pull out my swords.
If you what are you gonna do with the book if you pull out your swords?
You're gonna drop it. And
Stash
then
it
I'll
in-
burn it.
You got a book
Do you know how much stuff I have on me right now?
size satchel? You have a backpack?
I got a bag. Yeah, I got a bag with like all kinds of
All
like
right. Okay.
mining equipment.
Well, because this is not where you keep your bag.
Whatever. I've
This
got plenty of little holes.
Implies that you've got like a
Messenger
book.
Let's just say if somebody turned out a
Anyways.
giant electromagnet, this one's going to go flying.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think I will just like kind of have it clutched and then like hold an action to punch her.
Whoa.
Okay.
Well, you're going to be punching me in the back because I'm
No,
running
if she gets through you,
interference.
that's why I'm
Okay,
holding
if
my
she gets-
action
if she
to punch
gets
her
around.
if she
Okay.
If she gets through.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a big dude.
Kethra, are you doing like the big brother like? Oh come on! Are you doing that, or are you just
No,
like
I'm just
backed off and you're ready?
and I'm
You're just
prepared.
like
Yeah.
coolly ready to throw a jab.
Yeah.
All right, Kethra. Arister has stepped in front of you, and he's with his strength.
With his strength.
And
Yeah,
he's-
Kethra is very much in a rage right now.
I have a stern look upon my face that
That
will brook no argument.
Roll Brook save.
If I... Okay, so... Staying in character, like... I don't think that I'm mad enough to, like, start casting spells per se, but I do think in my rage I would try and just move Arister out of the way. I don't think this is gonna work. But I do think that I am so mad right now that I would just be like...
I do not have my
Get out of the
shield
way,
out, so
like-
it might be a little easier.
All right, so.
So what
go
is
ahead.
that
Go
roll?
ahead. Just go ahead and make a strength check because you're just gonna try to shove him, right?
I'm just shoving him out of the way so I can get the book.
All right, make a strength check, Arister.
Oh, Arister makes...
No, you're making a strength check to shove him. He's making a strength check to avoid being shoved by a 16-year-old girl who
Wait
is
a minute.
enraged.
What'd you get?
21.
Oh, I got an 18! I rolled so high!
All right,
I was so
you
excited.
lay into Arister, and for a brief second, it's working. He starts to move. And then he just
Oh, the
kind
floor
of
is slick.
clenches his jaw, and he's like, and then the full weight of him like leans into your shove, and you can feel it starting to. He's like,
You know the feeling. You have a dog.
yeah, yeah,
Who does that same thing to me all the time?
a huge dog. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I just go, Catherine, shh.
Catherine.
That's what you do to the dog all the time.
Calm down. We're gonna talk through this.
All right.
Calm and reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, we're both okay, we're not evil.
Okay, Arister.
I don't know that anymore.
No.
Kethra is clearly passionate about this, about getting this book away and burning it.
Kethra, I'm burning this book, but we all found it together, and if everyone wants to make the decision to read some of it
Before we burn
it, I can't deny them that, because I did the same.
You're gonna have to roll persuasion. Like, there's no, I don't care what you say.
You're gonna have to roll some persuasion.
You're just gonna
We're
have to roll.
We're all smoking weed, Kethra. Why, like, everyone should have the choice to smoke weed.
God.
Yeah.
Why would you? Oh.
We all found it together.
Paladin peer pressure.
20% ownership. I got a 12.
And then what do I roll?
You're gonna
I
roll
think I know
wisdom
this
save.
one. Oh, I'm glad this is wisdom save because this
Yeah.
is actually like
Yeah, he's trying to persuade you.
I got a 20.
Actually,
Okay,
wait.
yeah, he doesn't persuade you.
Well, it's a wisdom save for Vesper, but for just a regular persuasion roll, isn't it insight? Which
No.
is the same, but...
No, insight is telling someone's motives or telling if they're lying. to
I'd
you.
still get plus
Right.
5 either way.
Yeah,
But if someone's
I think
trying
it's
to-
the same, but...
Yeah, if someone's trying to like convince you of something,
Yeah.
you can either choose not to, or if you feel like your convictions are just strong enough, then it's a wisdom save.
Okay.
Okay, so Kethra's, you say like, hey, we 20% ownership, we need to vote on this, and Kethra responds with
We need to burn the
the near timeless and infallible argument of la la la. Okay, so Vesper pulls out his lute.
Mhm.
And he plays a haunting tune on a reedy pipe. And he says,
I'm haunted.
Arister, stop the girl, so that we can live in a more informed world. And you get inspired. Will you hand him an inspiration? I'm not as good as Vesper. I didn't have time to practice.
I feel inspired.
Yeah, you feel you've been given the authority of a father.
Well, in character, I
Yeah.
actually am a father.
Yeah.
So, or was.
Well, not Kether's father,
Right.
but now you found that inner father look and
Right.
stillness.
I've got daddy issues, so you know.
Did not need to know that.
Get to.
All right, Liliana.
Isn't it... Is it my turn?
Yeah, Vesper one.
Vesper just
Okay.
did a terrible inspirational song. Because he's still in the back of his mind, his confidence has been shot. he thought him and Vance were like this.
6 out of 10 best for persuasion.
Shoot. I'll help you to burn it, and I light up my hands
On fire.
on fire. But we need to make sure that somebody knows what's in each section of the book because it might be important. And I'm gonna light up my hands and be like, I'm right with you. But let's each somebody, read a little section so that we know what's in there. Do you want to, if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah, Vesper says, I'll read your section and my section. If you want.
Join us.
Yeah, that's not happening. Julia, better roll.
Okay.
Yeah, persuade.
Like, this is so heretical. This is so heretical to my character. This is the worst thing.
Yeah, it started to bother you pretty much as soon as
I got a 20.
they referred to Ara as a warden of a prison.
Yeah, you don't care.
You were just
Yeah,
like,
this is super heretical.
that's not what she is.
Man, you are.
I am just not. The dice are on my side.
All right.
They agree with my character. Not good.
So, Kethra, at this point, everyone has now spoken out, with the exception of you, and said, we'll burn the book later. Do you want to storm out? Do you want to go get some help? Do you want to sheathe your arrows and divine electricity, blow everybody against the wall? Like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do, Kethra? Because at this point, we've reached the point where you either need to escalate or back down.
Whoa, hold on. A little bit.
Oh my gosh.
In the box.
In the box.
In the box.
Right.
I'm gonna Sacred Flame.
All right. So you're sacred flaming the book or the person? Okay.
The book.
Which
All right.
Can't.
But-
She can see the book. It's gotta be line of sight.
I'm gonna say that she can see the book. I mean, you're not so big. You're not trying to like
Right.
stop her from doing this, are you? Like
No.
she's looking around. Okay.
Well, it's
I will give you.
It's got cover, so
It's
yeah.
it's your saving throw since you're the person holding it.
Okay, and it's what?
I believe it's a dexterity.
Which is your thing,
Mwah.
but it is a dex saving throw.
Actually, not a saving throw. It's a good stat, but it's not proficiency.
Well, I think she'd have a couple bonus points to her AC because of cover, right?
Yeah, but it's not an AC thing. It basically the flame appears
Okay.
and people have to dodge out of the way.
Roll like trash right now. This is a 7.
All right. You see some. Will you roll the damage for me, Kefka? You see a golden flame
In the box.
explode.
One more time. Third time.
Heather's so bad. Hold on.
Okay, so
Okay, got it.
I can't keep my
Nice.
dice in the box. All right, what'd you roll?
8.
No. Okay. So you see what color is your sacred flame?
My Sacred Flame is blue.
Blue. Okay. You see a blue explosion of fire, like basically right on the book, right next to you, and you try to rip the book out of the fire, but you see like several of the pages get singed, and the whole front cover like just turns black, like right in your hands, like right in your arms. It's right there, and it just goes right, and you're like, oh! And you try to get it back, but
This is Makaria's disappointed.
Did I not go in between Liliana? Did I?
Well, you readied your fist action, right?
Okay.
yeah, you
That
ready?
felt like it was forever ago. So I was like,
your,
wait a second.
Yeah, you readied your punch.
I thought we went through y'all. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I was holding your action until she came around because you said you were going to try to punch her if she did.
Okay.
And instead, she poked her head around and went,
I was thinking you said you
hibbly boo, or whatever. Whatever the.
I had it tucked under my arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point, if you would like, you may respond.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to move your initiative. All right, the book catches on. It doesn't stay on fire, but it clearly is now damaged.
I put the book in some pouch somewhere.
Okay.
And I draw my swords.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay, so yeah.
Fire just exploded in my room. Like,
Oh.
I am officially pissed at this point.
I'm saying whoa at both of you.
Well, this has escalated quickly.
Yes.
I think everyone needs to sit down and think about some things.
I agree. I can take it to my mentor.
It doesn't need to go to anyone. It is dangerous. It is infecting us. This is not something we should be reading. This is not. End of story. This is evil. This is evil.
Yeah, evil people are gonna use it against us.
That's why we need to burn it.
Then we don't know what they're gonna do.
We've read enough. We've been access to enough. I've already seen 2 of you go down this road.
We just know a spell now.
That's dangerous.
Not if you don't use it. People have choices.
You have started down the path.
I actually don't know if I know a spell. I do feel odd.
Okay.
I'm not actually sure what knowing a spell feels like.
I mean, I read an explanation of it the way they do
Right.
their magic on this one thing, and now I
You,
know it's
you kind of did too. I mean, you've never seen a written spell, so you don't. I mean, it looked like a
I just
recipe.
feel odd
Yeah.
to say that.
I mean, that's how it feels when you learn spell.
So you're pretty sure that if you follow the recipe, that it'll achieve the effect that you imagine in your mind.
Well, this was not gained by the hard work and sweat of my brow.
Well, maybe. I'm just throwing this out there. The hard work and sweat of your brow is happening right now. Maybe it's like a credit system.
Definitely not the credit system.
So you
I-
get,
I
you get
fundamentally
the spell, you get the
reject
spell you
that
deserve right
theory.
now, and you just pay for it over the next 24 months.
No, that's not.
In little installments.
I know enough about how mages study all the time to know that's generally backwards.
Hmm.
No such thing as money for nothing.
That spell doesn't give you money.
Right, or knowledge.
Okay, so Makaria has drawn her swords. Arister, as a free action, you said, whoa, everybody needs
Yeah.
to calm down. This is getting out of hand.
Right. Man, this is tough.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm not gonna hit anybody.
I don't want to take the book because then it will look like I'm.
Oh, you're not taking the
insane
book now. It's in my
cultist.
thing, and if anyone comes at it at this point, they're getting a hand chopped off.
But
Like,
I
I'm
can't
pissed.
let Makaria leave with the book
I mean,
and risk it falling into untoward hands, or risk her reading the whole thing. But I'm also not gonna let violence break out. So I guess I'm just gonna have to knock everybody out one at a time.
Are you starting with Vesper? Everybody calm down. Bam!
I have not made any movements like I'm leaving at all.
Okay, fair enough.
I've literally only been
If you
defensive.
attack someone, you should attack. You should knock me out. I'm being serious. Like Amanda is telling Bedness if you knock somebody out.
Yeah, I would say, I would agree that either the person who's inciting it all or the person who's drawn weapons. It
Yeah,
needs to be one of them.
yeah. I'm gonna just one at a time knock everybody out.
if you come after me, I'm gonna get real confused.
So I draw my sword and shield,
Okay,
and I am going to clock her in the noggin.
okay. Okay, so I don't know if there are rules for knockout, but basically what you'll do is, for right now,
You just choose to
Is-
do non-lethal.
yeah, you're gonna hit her with an attack, and she's gonna make a Constitution save against the damage that you deal. And if she fails, she's gonna take 1 point of damage, but be knocked unconscious. If she survives it, she's gonna take the damage and then be able to respond however she sees fit.
Cool. I probably didn't hit.
No.
Oh.
She's not. She doesn't think you're about to knock her out. You don't.
I
have
see.
To, you just get to hit her. I need you to roll the damage.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's even better.
I need you to roll the damage.
5 damage.
Okay, so then it'll be a DC 10 Constitution check.
Okay, so I roll Constitution.
Yeah, you're gonna roll Constitution save and try to get higher than a 10.
I got a 13.
All right, so he bashes you with his shield for 5.
Okay.
Okay, in an attempt to knock you out.
And then I say, "Are we done here?"
Yeah, that's for action. I'll let that happen. Okay, so
Can I go? Wait.
hold
can I
on.
make?
So
or should I wait?
Arister. So then it's gonna be Vesper's turn. He doesn't do anything. Liliana. You just okay. So now 2 people have weapons drawn, and it's
Explosions have happened.
there was a fire. There was a brief fiery explosion. Your hands are still on fire, as far as I know, right? Your produce flame lasts until you throw it or until you extinguish it on your own.
Yeah. Well, when it was just one little fireball, but let's see. Wait. Yeah, I'm getting scared of everybody, so I look at you, and I'm like, are we really doing this? And I freak out a little bit and cast spider climb on myself and climb up to the ceiling.
Are your hands still on fire?
Yeah, I'm using the free.
Okay.
I can walk on the walls and the ceiling now.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, I just imagined that spider climbing was like Spider-Man, so I was just wondering if your hands were still on fire.
Yeah, one of my hands is still on fire.
All right. But you're not using it to climb. Okay. All right, so now the druid is having some sort of a
Mental breakdown.
nature breakdown.
Schism.
Obviously, this is the chaos.
Yeah.
She could not climb on the
Yeah.
walls before.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never seen this behavior before she read the book.
It's a new spell. Isn't it cool?
Okay, so that brings us back around to Kethra.
I'm gonna. I storm out at this point.
All right, you storm out.
Lose my shit and I
Yeah.
storm out.
All right, so Kethra throws her foot down and then she's gone. She
Well.
storms out.
At the point that she leaves, I sheathe my swords.
Okay.
You can read the book. Vesper can read the book. After that, we're burning it. If anybody has any problems with that, we're going to have some
Upside down.
problems.
I don't think we've ever had a problem with it.
Go.
Okay.
Okay, so are you still reading out loud, or are you just going to try to skim through and see if there's something in there that you can use?
I'm probably
Don't
just
read it out loud.
skimming through.
Okay. You guys can tell because she's skimming, she's flipping papers, and then all of a sudden she just stops moving.
I just pull the book out of her hands
Okay.
and throw it at Vesper.
All right, that's yours. You cast it once per long rest as of right now. All right, so Vesper takes the book, and he asks, before he opens the book, he asks, do you guys feel different in a chaos way? Because I don't want to get chaos.
No.
Like, I would rather...
If I was infected with chaos now, I don't believe I would feel different.
I feel no different than I did about a minute ago.
I feel like I
When you
know
read them off, yeah.
more.
But that was a little different from the minute before that.
I feel like I know more, and that's useful.
Yes, knowledge is very...
I don't really
Desirable.
want to use that knowledge because then that might be bad because you know. But I don't think knowledge is dangerous unless you're using it, like, dangerously. Like, if we're using it to prevent bad things, I don't know. But I don't feel chaosy.
We're
I don't-
dealing with a fundamental force of reality.
Yeah.
Regardless of what we do, there's going to be some sort of consequence for this.
Well, if we destroy the book, there's a consequence. But at least we'll know, like, something about what's in it. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't think I want to read the book. I think we should just burn it right now.
Very well.
And so he walks through the...
Okay, do you?
One of the
Okay,
doors.
whoa.
No.
You
Go
really
out.
think? I don't think that
Vesper would.
Vesper. I think Vesper would read the book.
For the same reason she read it.
That's what he says.
Okay.
And then he walks out.
No.
Remember, there's 2 doors.
I don't
I
let
feel
him
like-
leave.
Roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh, he's trying to leave with the book. Oh, I misunderstood, Sean.
Yeah, the second he takes a
I
step towards the
misunderstood.
door, I will clock him.
Roll initiative.
God, this book is so evil.
Yeah,
Don't you guys see?
All right.
It is
So
evil.
on 17, Vesper moves towards the door. You start to move towards him. He sees you moving towards him. He runs out the door.
Can I?
When you follow him out into the front room, he is gone.
I cast.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Catherine's gonna have a hard time.
Growth
Kethra is
Where?
joining the church to
Under him
meditate
while he's
right now.
Roll initiative. You're in the other rooms, clinging from the ceiling.
Well, I was above him in the room. If he started
Well,
to
she
leave,
could, like,
I would have cast it right under him. It's 10 initiative.
Okay, so you get out into the front room first. Vesper has... You know that he is capable of casting invisibility.
Yes, I do.
He is not visible to you currently.
Is the front door open?
The front door is open. I don't know, did you sign the door when you went out? Or Or
Hold
did
on,
you
wait a
just,
minute.
slam it open?
I slammed the shit out of that.
All right, so the front door is open. Yes.
Has
You
it-
heard
Has it
Kethra-
been open?
Yeah. No, you heard, or you think you remember hearing Kethra yell "slam" as she left.
Okay, so it was closed,
You're pretty sure it was closed. And now it's open.
and now it's open, so he's out. Okay. I guess I will follow him out in the streets, and if I don't see anything, I'm going straight to the Bard College where he says he lives and hangs out all the time.
Okay. All right. So you climb down off the ceiling. You run out into the front room. You see Arister leaving the front through the front door, and you can tell that he is
Wait a second.
jogging with a purpose.
I'm faster than both of them.
Yeah, but your initiative was 10,
I know that.
right?
I know that. I'm saying though, as soon as he started walking out the door, I
Mhm.
would have followed.
Right, but
Did I not see him disappear?
he went through the door
He went through the door
On
and then cast his
17.
spell,
and then cast his spell.
invisibility, and then I went out there,
And then on 11,
and then
he
you
went
went
out
out there.
and double moved. And now on 10, you're off the ceiling and coming through the door, watching him go out the door.
Yeah. It makes sense. Like, we can't see him. He's gone.
I thought the
Invisibility
warehouse
is a
was
hell of a
pretty
drug.
good, but okay.
Well, it's not a warehouse. Remember, it's like a shop. Remember, it had like a front room and 2 doors,
Mm-hmm.
and then like a kitchen-ish area in the back where all the cages were and the dog poops
All right, and then I will
and the
cast
large bloody rats.
detect magic and follow him.
Okay. All right, you cast detect magic and get outside and attempt to follow him. Arister is moving towards the Bard College. Vesper was pretty clear, like, oh yeah, I'm a member of the in high standing of the whatever of the Arragas players You know right where they are, right where that is. All right, Kethra.
Do I see him? I mean.
No.
I cast detect magic the second I walk outside, and I can't see a little invisible detect magical.
Does detect magic pierce
Energy?
invisibility? I think you have to
No.
have.
Yeah.
Do they still have seen invisibility in this game?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, detect magic does not just reveals the presence of magical objects and auras.
Presence of magic within 30 feet of you. Sense magic. Faint aura around any visible creature. Okay.
Visible
Any
creature.
invisible creature,
Not visible.
I would have known that though.
so you don't want to cast detect magic.
No. I'll
Okay.
turn into a wolf and track him.
Okay, so you turn into a wolf and attempt to track it. All right.
Yeah.
So Makaria, you hear. Oh, I don't know. Do you curse or anything when you get out in the front room and he's not there?
No.
Okay, so you see Vesper leave. You see Arister leave. You see Liliana drop down off the ceiling and leave.
I probably would say I'll follow him.
Did you do like some cool like spinny move and like transform in the air and like catch yourself?
Into a wolf.
Because that's
Into
totally what I
wolf
watched.
form.
Like you're up only just like
With one flaming paw. Ooh,
Uh,
the fur right there is like a red sock.
no, I dropped it to do that, I think. But well, no. I guess it would carry over. It's not concentration. Yeah, I've got one flaming paw.
Okay, so all right, so you pop outside, or you turn into a wolf as you drop from the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
and you say, in Wolfie, I'll follow her.
Well, I dropped to the ceiling,
Okay.
see that he had ran out,
Mm-hmm.
and tried to get away with the book. And the second, I mean, I can catch on pretty quick that he turned invisible.
Two growls and a sniff is
And then-
I'm going to follow him.
Either that or
So-
don't let him run off with it. And then
We will sit
Yeah.
down and come up with a
Whatever.
complex series,
Actual
an actual
Language,
coded language.
yeah,
for
an
you.
actual coded language to
in any
communicate.
case, I turn into a wolf and I try
Okay, fair enough.
Hi, CC. I see you in the chat. Hi. All right, so you guys get outside. Go ahead and roll your tracking. All right, so 2 and a 4.
to. Okay, it's plus.
Julie, I thought we said we were going to not do this anymore. I clearly remember us talking about our dice rolls.
Well, he's another elf too, so and he just ran away. I don't know. She's feeling conflicted.
I'm not. because there should be words. We have beef now.
7.
Okay.
We set up rules when we came in to read
Alright.
the book, and 2 people broke those rules.
Yes, the rules have been broken.
Not me.
Spoken like a true warden of the world. That's the old way.
Oh,
That's the
dumb.
old way. All right. So you guys get out. Kethra, where did you storm off to?
I went to the church.
Okay. All right. So you guys probably didn't see Kethra as you guys came out. Kethra, make a perception check to see if you saw everybody come barreling out of the shop and head off towards the Bardic College, towards the entertainment area of Arragas.
I got a 19.
Okay, so you do. You don't see Arister, but you definitely see a wolf come out of the front of the like you turn around and look behind you, to see if anyone's following you or whatever, to see if anyone's come to get you. And you see a wolf run out of the front, and then you see Macaria come out and start trotting off after the wolf. And they're headed in a direction that's not the church. You want to keep going to the church?
Yeah, I'm really mad right now. I gotta calm down.
Okay.
I'd go to the church.
Okay, so everyone else is going to get to the Bardic College here in a minute. All right, Kethra, so you get to the church, you get to the Abbey of the Merciful Wind, which is where your mentor, Abbot Eugene, is. Mm-hmm. And you come in, and are you going to try to calm down, or do you need to confide?
No, I'm trying to calm down.
Okay.
Like, if he comes up to me, I'm going to be like, not right now. And I'm going to, go pray.
He's kindly, and
I know, and I'm
he
really
sees
mad.
you, and he's just like, and then you go off to pray, and he follows you, and then prays with you,
Okay.
just in the same little antechamber,
Okay.
in the same vestibule. That's religious for antechamber.
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard that word.
That's what they call
Oh.
it. Yeah. All right, so he prays with you for a little while, and then you calm down. And when you're ready to start talking, he is right there, and he's he clearly wants to talk with you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he says Kethra, I'm glad to see that you're safe back from Watanga Mining Complex. I didn't realize that you had traveled out there. But this morning, a nice but confused young man came to visit me, and his name is Weeneg, and he says that he knows you. And I asked him how he knew you, and he told me this amazing story about how he was just a miner, and then he heard your ministrations about Ara, and he realized that he could be more, and that he felt himself being called into the priesthood, and he was very confident, but he was sort of unsure of what he was supposed to do, and there wasn't a lot of holy readings available to him, and so he tried his best, but he was very down on himself. He was very negative, and he felt that he had failed mostly before he had really even got started. And he said that he had briefly tried maybe the paladinhood, but that didn't work out either, and he didn't understand what he was supposed to be doing. And I told him that that many of us hear the call and are not ready, and that's part of our journey, is that we have to discover what exactly it is we've been called to. But I told him that I knew in my heart and soul that if he had been called, that there was a purpose for it, that there was a reason.
And I do think he's been called, Father. I firmly believe that. I
know. You know how I know? Because after I told him this, he said that that's exactly what you told him. And I have to say, Kethra, I am very proud of you. You have always been an exemplary priestess, and I know that you will continue being exemplary in all ways. I should tell you that, you know, proselytizing and anointing and things like that are just a little bit above what you should be doing at this stage in your spiritual journey. But I've spoken with some of the other priests and one other abbot, and we have all prayed about it, and we agree that if you're going to be pulling people into our faith, that we should at least arm you with the proper tools so that you can do a good job of it. And so I would like to give
I'm waiting for the foot to drop.
this.
Yes.
I would like to give you this this liturgical manual,
Oh, okay.
and he hands you a book. And inside the book is several different prayers and directions on how to conduct various ceremonies in the name of Ara and have them actually be blessed and canonical. He tells you that he is extremely proud and that the others are most excited to see you continue on your journey in the Church of Ara. And they all wish great things for you, and he prays with you again and asks Ara to bless you with more wisdom and more inner strength to face down whatever obstacles may be placed in your path. And he asks you if there's anything that you would like of him. Now that you are, now that you have this liturgical book, do you have any questions about it? What would you?
Father, this trip was very difficult, and I truly have seen evil, and I am not ready to talk about things yet because I feel as though I need to meditate and commune with Ara for about a good hour before I can come to, so that I can reach a better connection with her before I take any more actions, because I'm confused and I don't know what to do.
Seeking the wisdom of others is always a good choice. I shall leave you alone. I will let everyone else know that you need this vestibule for the rest of the evening if you want. Take your time and remember that not every answer comes right away.
Thank you, Father.
All right. He gets up, pats you on the head in a grandfatherly way. And then it takes him like 30 full seconds to get out of the room because he's kind of old and, he's been kneeling this whole time while he was talking to you, so his knees are a little shot. But anyway, he closes the door and you are left alone in the abbey, in that vestibule, to pray and commune and otherwise search for the answers you're looking for. Okay, so Arister, Macaria, and Liliana, you guys make it over to the theater in the round that is known. It's like the main place that the Arragas players do a lot of their shows. I mean, they're sort of a traveling troupe, but this is like, think of like an entertainment district, and this is like the main theater that houses them, and they get patronage at some other theaters, but this is like their main one.
Okay.
Anyway, you get in there, you ask around, nobody has seen Vesper.
What about his boss / mentor person?
Are you talking about Phineas Backlund?
Has he seen Vesper?
You approach Phineas. He greets you with a flourish and takes off his wide-brimmed hat with all the feathers on it, Friends of Vesper, welcome. Are you here for the show?
We were looking for him. He seems to have gone missing.
Oh, Vesper is very secretive, and he disappears all the time. He hasn't shown up for a rehearsal in over a week.
Really?
Yes.
Could you let me know if you see him?
Absolutely. I can. Are you his guildmates as well?
Yes.
With the what's it called? The
Sable Guard.
The dark Sable Guard. Yes. Certainly. I'll let you know if I find him, and if I see him, I'll let him know that you're looking for him and that he should return to Sable Guard immediately.
He was going to say sell something, an exotic good of some kind. Would you happen to know who he would talk to?
Can you tell me the nature of this good? Is it food stuff?
It's a rare book.
Oh, well, we have lots of persons in the town that are interested. I mean, I guess it would depend on what information was in the book. I mean, certain people like historical documents, certain people like fictions, things like that. But I would hope he would come to me if he had something that's rare, because I am a collector of books, and I thought he and I were close. I would hope that he would give me first.
I think it was more of a historical, philosophical work.
Oh.
I'm sniffing around trying to find him.
Sounds okay. You are smelling all manner of perfumes that you have never smelled before. He says, well, that sounds a little boring, honestly. Maybe that's why he didn't bring it to me. But I don't. I mean, I would need to see this book to tell him who to go to. Or it's possible that he's finally learned a thing or two and is seeking out a seller on his own. But that would hurt my feelings, to be frank.
Do you happen to know where he lives?
I don't. I know whereabouts he lives, but I also know that he left that home a while ago, and he has had some sort of a split with his family, and he doesn't like to talk about it. And I've never been to his childhood home, if that's what you're asking. I don't know where that is, but
well, if you could send word to the guild hall, let him know that I'll be waiting there.
The guild hall?
Yes, Sable Guard Guild Hall.
Oh, the Sable Guard Guild House, yeah.
About the guild house.
Because the guild hall is this pretentious group of
let me
chittering
know.
monkeys
Let
who
me
like
know
to
if
charge
he
people for
shows
things they
up.
shouldn't be charged for. Certainly, yeah. I'll let him know. And if you see him, tell him that if he misses one more rehearsal this month, we're going to use his understudy.
Very well.
Okay. It was a great pleasure to meet you, Arister, and
Macaria.
Macaria.
I have had my sword drawn this whole time.
Well, then he just lightly touches it with his fingers. Like, nice to meet you. Are your swords drawn too?
No, I've been
Okay, great.
angrily.
Hands-on swords?
No, just like crossing my arms like angrily.
Okay.
I'm still pissed.
And what a nice wolf you have.
Thanks. She's housebroken.
Amazing. That makes her even more valuable. Interesting coloration on her leg. Would you be interested in selling her by any chance?
Is your
I growl.
paw still on fire?
I think we said it was
put
just
it
like
out.
different color
I
fur
put
or
it
whatever.
out.
Oh, you put it out. Okay.
Not at this time.
Okay. Well, I'm just. It's an idea. I'm throwing it out.
I growled a bit,
It's fine.
turned around, and walked out.
Um,
I mean,
yeah,
unless I
agree.
smell him
I
somewhere.
shall definitely pass it on, and I will. I'll reach out to several of his other friends, and I'm sure the rest of the cast members in the play will
5 seconds ago.
will have mixed feelings about the fact that he's still alive and has missed so many rehearsals.
Can I
How
make
well?
another attempt to track him?
Sure.
Yeah, because if we went that way, that means that she smelled him. Because we weren't going to the Bard College, we were following her nose, right?
No, you guys decided to go to Bard College.
I just stormed off to the Bard College.
No, I realized that, but how did she get there? Because if
She
she
followed
followed
I
the
followed
smell.
you guys.
Oh, okay.
She didn't get the smell. She got a 2 and a 4 when she came out of the door.
Yeah.
She didn't get any smell at all.
Okay.
19.
All right. You don't pick up Vesper's smell.
It's too stinky in here.
There's lots of
Outside? I said I walked out.
yeah. Think of this as like a Norman music festival,
Okay.
and you're sniffing people's butts trying to find Vesper's butt.
I was
I mean, you're not
sniffing,
sniffing
like, the
people's butts.
entrance
Yeah,
to
no,
see if he came in.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, right. Okay. All right. So, did you say powwow?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Arister wants to discuss.
Well, if I don't find him by sundown, I'm going to contact the Paladin Hood and explain the situation.
Cool.
In detail.
And the moment that you say that, you remember that this week is your devotion ceremony.
Which I need to attend.
You should, yeah, since it's yours. Yeah. They can't really have it without you.
Well, until we find Vesper, I'm going to put that off.
I'll drop form.
Okay.
I mean, I can find it in the morning. I mean, I can't right now, but I can track it down tomorrow, even if he's tried to sell it to somebody or whatever.
I can't take that risk.
Okay. I mean, I can locate the object, but
And I'm sure that the Paladins will be more than happy to have your help.
oh gosh, we don't need a whole bunch of extra people to know about this.
We don't.
You guys-
However, some things have been
Vesper.
done. And I cannot let that knowledge get out to the general public. I know what it does. I know what it did to me.
I turn into a wolf and I'll look around for him again.
Okay.
And I walk off, like, while you're trying to tell me about
How do you feel about this,
all
warrior?
I'm just irritated with everybody. I'm like, we were gonna look to make sure there wasn't anything evil to be done against us, and then we were gonna destroy the damn thing, but no, everybody's gonna cause a problem.
I would rather not tell a bunch of people.
You know, I wouldn't either. However, I did take some vows that would disagree.
I just think that we should let Liliana do her thing, and then if that doesn't work, then go for it.
Well, we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully, we will find him by sundown, and none of this will have to happen.
I'm trotting around, sniffing to see which way he went, going back to where we
Let's
started.
go back to the guild hall.
Okay. So it's like 1 in the afternoon. Do you guys want to go talk to Grand Azeldorn? He's your mentor / trainer. Not paladin trainer, but just like
I
combat trainer. You guys are
go
both.
pound 2 dwarven sounds and then go to see my mentor.
Hear what?
I'm freaking pissed right now, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a bar and I'm gonna just like.
Oh, okay. Oh, pound 2
Toss
dwarven
people.
stouts.
Stouts.
Okay, yeah. All right. That's because I thought you said something like I'm gonna pound to dwarven sounds, and I was like, what?
Dwarven sounds.
Like, yeah, you're just like make a sound.
The dopest album to ever drop.
Yeah, by
Arragas.
Chaos Rat Heads.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Pound
I'm
the
gonna
dwarven
go to a bar.
sounds. Okay, what about you, Liliana?
But then
You're gonna search around for the next hour.
irritatedly, like, searching around for him over and over.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep searching until I can't find him.
Okay.
I
All
mean,
right.
Until
So
sundown.
you guys search until sundown. And then is everybody going back to Sable Guard? Or for the evening?
No, whenever sundown happens, I'm going to the Paladin Hall and informing the highest level Paladin there is that there's a chaos tome on the loose and probably a guy who's been corrupted with foul magic and needs to be put down.
God.
And that we should probably contact Millpole and tell all the witch hunters to organize and form like torch brigades.
Well, there's not that many witch hunters to form a whole
However many.
But
no, like, I mean,
you
like,
won't need that many.
the
You'll just need
common
one.
folk.
You'll just need one.
I'm going to start a pin.
Oh, wait. Okay. Wait. Okay.
Okay.
So you're not actually talking about the Badu witch hunters from the Iron Circle.
No.
You're talking about just like a mob of peasantry
Well, mostly...
who want to throw
mostly,
witches
like...
into rivers and stuff.
If that happens, I'm okay with that happening, but mostly I would just like to organize all the paladins and the military to find this guy.
Okay, alright. Okay, so you guys search around until sundown. You don't find Vesper anywhere. You head back to Sable Guard for at least long enough to check to make sure that he's not there.
Yeah.
Okay. Does two dwarven stouts turn into dwarven stouts? In fact, why don't you go ahead and roll? Seeing as how you've got a long history of getting his hip deep into cups.
What am I rolling?
Let's make it a wisdom check.
Wisdom save.
Yeah.
It's Constitution to fight off the power of alcohol, but to fight off the
Yeah.
call of alcohol, it's wisdom.
Yeah.
How long do I search?
That would be a 10.
Okay, so you have 3 because 2 is not
Not enough.
2's not a pack.
Yep.
Like
Well,
3 is the
and
smallest pack you can have.
you know, you do reach a point where you're like, you know what, I could have one more and be fine.
Yeah. And so you got a good buzz on. And so roll again to see if you take one for the road.
That would also be a 10.
Okay, so you grab one for the road, and then you realize, like, oh no, I've just started my first one of the next 3. Gosh. So then you have another one. So you're up to 5. Go ahead and
Is
roll.
alcohol great?
I'm up to 5?
Oh, I guess 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. Because you drank a third one, and then you took one for the road, which would be 4. And then you decided, oh, this isn't, because now I'm in my first one of the next 3.
Gosh, what am I supposed to roll?
Just roll a wisdom check.
Middle.
And you're fine.
Constitution is drinking.
Roll really
No, yeah, the Constitution will see what happens when you actually
No, I
start.
realize I'm rolling wisdom. I'm saying what
Yeah.
number do I have to roll? Because I'm rolling in the middle.
higher.
That would be a 4.
Oh.
All right.
The insidious nature of alcohol strikes again.
Okay. You stop counting after 6. You have come up with a foolproof plan on how to capture Vesper and beat him up and get the book and make the whole thing look like an accident.
Okay.
Okay. It involves, after you beat him up, taking off one of his shoes and laying it half sideways near some nearby steps, which you will drag him to if you have to, so that it looks like he just lost his shoe and then fell down some steps.
Okay.
It's perfect. You get up to enact the plan. You step outside, and it's dark outside. And you're like, what? What happened to the sun? Make a wisdom check to finish out the evening, because now that you're drunk, you might as well finish out the evening, and you can just pick up this plan tomorrow morning.
That would be a 6.
Okay, you head back in. I'll get back to you later. All right, Liliana, make your survival or your tracking check for me, please. Okay.
I already rolled a 19 earlier.
You
Tracking people in your cities is tough.
Yeah, you don't pick up any smell of Vesper, but you do smell a familiar smell.
Burned book.
And when you look up into the on the eaves of one of the buildings, you see a snowy white owl perched up there, and you know that Ornitholos loves to take the form of snowy white owls, and he also likes to send messages through snowy white owls. And you get the distinct indication that you are being summoned to go see Ornitholos.
Okay.
And he is outside the city. You know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll.
You book it back to Sable Guard, and Arister is there. and
Right.
the sun is beginning to. Soleon is about to head to the after party.
Well, I'll go in. Hey, didn't find him. I can find him in the morning. Can we not call down the city guard on him till I do that? 'Cause I gotta go visit my mentor. Maybe I'll ask him for advice.
Maybe
I-
Vesper will return the book.
He probably will.
I hope so. Especially before I get to the other side of town.
Oh my gosh, you're really gonna talk to. Ugh. Bye. And then I go see Ortholos.
How will you know if he's turning the book or whatever if you're not here?
Just bring it back to me. Well, I don't know. If
How's
he sees
he-
me on the street, he's
Yeah.
had all day.
Yeah.
He was only
Yeah.
invisible for an hour.
Yeah,
so.
he's-
Right.
yeah,
So he's somewhere visible, hiding from us. Probably reading the book from cover to cover before he sells it.
Maybe.
So that's what I'm going to assume. Regardless, he had plenty
As
of time.
NPCs go, that's a pretty safe assumption.
He had plenty of time to
That's
turn the
not
book back over,
cute.
so I'm gonna go tell my paladin overlords that there is probably a chaos outbreak in the city.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. So, and then what are you doing for nightfall?
I'm going back to the druid camp. I'm so over this.
Okay. So you head off to go visit with Ornitholos. You are in the oaken barrel getting drunk. You pray until how long?
I don't know until like I am calmed down and I can feel Ara's glory again and I am stable.
Okay. Well, that can take as long as you want it to, a couple hours or the rest of the night. It's up to you.
Takes 4 hours.
It takes 4 hours. Good. I love your faith in the dice. You're like, I hold the hug for 4 seconds. I pray for 4 hours.
Yeah. 4 hours.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and stop here for the night. Arister is heading off towards. Do you want to go to the Paladin of Give Me first or Millipole first?
Give the paladin to the
Okay, all right. So you're headed off to the Paladin Hall. Which we'll call something else because there's too many halls. I just realized.
Yeah.
We got a lot of halls going on.
Order hall, maybe?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean without the word hall. The Paladin.
Right.
We'll call it the Paladin Club. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out. Okay, so we're gonna end here. We will pick up the same time next week, and we will see what becomes of the book and the party. In the meantime, I will get a hold of Vesper. I'm sure if he's not watching this now, he will watch it tomorrow and be like, what the hell, Sean? Like,
Yeah.
that's not what I was going to do at all.
For the record, did he tell you to do this?
No.
No,
we
Sean
don't know
Dixon
this. We
just
don't know.
did this.
I would never violate DM player confidentiality by suggesting that there were any like secret texts or anything like that. I would never say that.
So basically, none of us ever miss a week.
Right, because then Sean gets
Sean
over
will
your
walk
trigger and go.
Okay, so
Is Charles in chat by any chance?
I don't know. Is Charles in chat?
Charles
I'm
and Charlie.
asking because of a time when Charles took over your character in a game. Is this payback? Did you learn
For
from-
Charles? No. Dude, if I'm gonna pay anybody back, it's Charles. Charles, I hope you're watching. Yeah, no. If I'm gonna pay anybody back, it's Charles. Yeah, he's
the worst?
he
Did I mean that?
he confided in me after that he was just like that Ben warned him about the paradox, and he was just like.
One day
So-
we'll have to have on an off week. We'll have to do game tales.
Yeah, we'll have to do something. Yeah, just tell some of our favorite tales. Okay, everybody, that's going to conclude our episode 6. Is this episode 6 now? It is. Episode
is.
6
Wow.
of Arragas City of Dreams. I hope that you all had as much fun as we did, and we will definitely see everybody next week. Have a great night, and Mom, if you're still watching, I will see you later.